On the 26th of July 2025, I crashed my MK7 GTI at Nurburgring. And the point that you are now watching it from is probably about 2 months after it happened. It was sat there for a while whilst I was trying to work out what was best to do, and clearly from this point onwards you can tell that I decided to get it rebuilt and go ahead with getting it back on the road and getting it back on track. And obviously the plan is to make it pretty much a full dedicated track car slash road car. I'd already stripped the whole front end off, taken all the broken bits off of the front, and it's now the rebuild time. Seeing how bad it is and just try to get it back on the road. So yeah, enjoy the video. So this is now going to be the first time the GTI has started up since I crashed it. I'm going to disconnect the coil packs just so it doesn't run initially, let it get some oil pressure around, plug them back in and see what happens. I think the old battery might be a bit dead. Right, I'm going to spin the van around quick, hook the jump leads up to it because I just tested the battery and it's only got 9 volts to it, so I thought me disconnecting it might let it not die as quick, but it clearly has. So turn the van around, put the jump leads on it and see if we can get some more give in it. Right, I know it's probably going to be a bit noisy in the background with the van on, but I just want to see if it'll crank over, so I don't want to disconnect and it'll lose charge. Don't know if you heard that, but it cranked over. I'm going to put the coil packs in and see if she comes to life. Oh yes, she's alive. So now that I know that it's running again, there's a few parts that have turned up that I want to start getting bits bolted onto, like the surround for the front. There's a new slam panel there, crash bar, and then once we've managed to assemble them bits, I can then start focusing on this because I need to get some heat into this and get it bent back and weld it up around here, and then just heat it up and bend it back down here. It's just a little bit out of line. So the leg itself is actually straight, so I ain't got to worry too much about that. It's literally just that front section that the crash bar bolts to. The thing I'm going to tackle first is the old slam panel, which there isn't really much left of it. And here is one that I prepared earlier. Got the bonnet catch on it, got the bracket from the old one on it because this didn't bend or nothing. Luckily managed to save a few screws from the old one. Luckily the plastic just snapped and didn't take the screws with it. The next part that has turned up for it is the crash bar. So we'll start assembling that to it. And there is the new crash bar. So that's where the front crash sensor will bolt onto. That's where that bracket that was on the slam panel will bolt to. And then the side pieces here also bolt onto that slam panel as well. And then obviously this bolts straight to the car. Can't do that yet because that front plate is a bit mangled. So now I've got it roughly all marked up with the new slam panel and the new crash bar. Bracket's now bolted onto there. I haven't got the factory bolts that bolt into the side of the slam panel. So what I've had to do for now is put some 10mm in there. I mean, it holds it the exact same, so I might even end up just leaving them in there because it will do up tight. Yeah, just gonna have to get the front crash sensor on. I am gonna have to straighten it up a little bit because this side is straight, but obviously you can see the bit at the back is what's bent, which is what was bent on that crash bar as well. So a bit of manipulating to get that straight again, and she'll be golden. I managed to straighten that bracket back up, so that the front sensor can now bolt onto it nicely. So now all I've really got to do for the front end wires is get the front of that chassis leg straight so I can bolt it on, and then I can start mounting the radiator, intercooler, aircon unit and all that stuff. So I spent a little bit of time trying to get this back straight. As you can see there, it is split, so I need to get a welder on it and get it back to its like optimal strength. But from trying to straighten it out, seems pretty good to me. Took a little bit of time to actually get it straight, and it needed a hell of a lot of heat, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was when it was pissed as anything. So what we're going to do now is get the crash bar and the slam panel mocked up, see if it lines up. So we've got these new plastic and rubber slots that go at the top of the intercooler, and then got these new rubbers that slot in at the bottom of the slam panel to hold the bottom of the intercooler in. So we'll start slotting them on. Well, it was new, not anymore. Just tap it in. Slot in that one. Slot in that one. Bosh. There's one. Oh. It's definitely heavier now. Come back to you once I've sorted this. Jesus. Right. Oh God, I'm out of breath. A little bit of persuasion later. They clipped in. Basically, they wasn't meeting the lip properly. So I just had to kind of pull this through, like with a screwdriver, just to push it that a little bit extra, because I only needed probably about that much. So that's now all fully mocked up. It's actually starting to look like a front end again. Right, we'll get this bolted onto the legs. It won't be able to stay on because I do need to get some new boost pipes, because these split and this one down here split, so it's all going to have to come off again, but I just want to make sure that it does actually line up all right. So as you can see here in a second, I do actually manage to get the front crash bar lined up, and it lined up completely perfectly. But when I ended up having it completely bolted on, I ended up coming across an issue, and that was that the radiator was hitting up against some of the engine components and a couple of the plugs, and I also noticed as well that one of the coolant pipes was hitting up against the belt. So I kind of realised that something was wrong, which then led to being that I actually ended up ordering the wrong slam panel. Which brings us on to the next day, where I now have the correct slam panel on. And it actually clears everything, because the one I did buy, this part here, was literally sat right up against that plug, and it was sitting up against the belt as well. So I instantly knew that something was wrong, but I've got the right one on now, so she's all good. We'll get this new lighter arm put on as well, which I've just got back from getting the other bushings pressed out and in from the old arm, as the old arm was mangled. So got the Black Series Powerflex bushings back in here, so we can start getting this arm put back in. I'm trying my best to keep nuts and bolts in the same place where they came out of, otherwise I will end up losing them. Drop link's trying to hit me in the face, which is also another thing I need to get replaced, because snapped clean off the hub, as you can see there. So after a bit of fiddling around, because it was being a pain in the arse to get back in, so this back piece had to go in at a certain angle for it to line up, and then had to be kind of shoved into the front there. So weren't too bad. That pain in the arse front bolt is in, although I did look up ways to do it, and because I thought, well, it's either I've got to try and disconnect the engine mounts and jack it up, or drop the subframe. I was like, there's got to be an easier way to it. So if you don't know about this way and you want to replace them, then it's literally just a pry bar underneath, like away from the bolt, and it should just push the engine forward as much as you can, and then the bolt should slot out. Obviously you have to undo the 2 dog bone mounts bolts there in order to swing it forward, but that definitely helped me out a lot doing it that way.
I'm excited to see the inside of the wheel. It's like a mystery.
The wheel actually comes off.
I don't think it will. It'll get stuck in it. Oh no. Oh, I'm impressed. I thought it would be really buckled.
It's buckled there. You can see the bow there.
Oh yeah.
But in all fairness, it hasn't.
In all fairness, I think we can rerun it.
Do you reckon? I don't know about that.
Is it really wobbly? Oh, why did I panic like it was going to damage the
panic
car?
is going to go into the car. It's going to imperfect it. Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that it bent a few things. It bent the toe arm because that arm's straight, and as you can see, that thread's pissed. It also bent the thread on the camber arm. Also bent the rear trailing arm. When I was taking the caliper apart, this top pin was pissed. So I don't know if it's the caliper itself or if it's something in that, but I'll end up changing it anyway. Just to put into, not a serious perspective, but with these camber arms and toe arms being bent, these were on maybe 2 weeks before I went to ring, so they're pretty much still brand new. Luckily Hard Race have been able to supply me with one instead of buying them in a pair, and I've already got a new toe arm as well, which I managed to pick up from someone when I was picking up the front bumper. The rear shock is a little bit bent. Where's the rear hub? I'll show you the rear hub. I didn't even know this until obviously I took it off. Where is it? There. Completely snapped and bent. So that's a new rear hub as well. So yeah, I think I've definitely done it properly. Honestly, taking everything apart, I just thought, alright, we've got this, alright, we've got this, alright, we've got that. And then I got to a point where I was like, right, so we're rebuilding the whole rear suspension on the passenger side and the whole front suspension and the whole front suspension as well. Oh dear. But now it's all apart. It doesn't actually seem that bad, I'll be honest, because obviously I didn't really know what it was going to be like before. But yeah, it's not, I mean, it clearly hasn't put me off because I'm still cracking on, but yeah, obviously as you can see, that's the rear quarter where it's like crumpled itself in, and it's also, where is it? Around the back there where this plastic trim is bowed it in slightly, but it is literally just this outer piece here. But all the way on the front inside isn't even that bad, so hopefully won't be too bad of a job getting this fixed. I've already had a couple of quotes, just got to work it out when I get to that point, because obviously I want to get it rolling first and then sort the bodywork out afterwards, because like obviously it's all fixable, so I might as well focus on one thing first and then do the bodywork afterwards, because I'd rather have it rolling, get it sent off to do the bodywork, get it back, know that it's straight and it's rolling, and then it's just a case of putting the rest of the panels back on and trying to get it back on the road again. You can see there, this trailing arm, pretty bent. That is mad. But I did have a bit of a discussion, and it doesn't really have power flex bushings inside. Wait for a few more bits to turn up, and we'll go again. If you are looking forward to seeing this car come back to life, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, because there's going to be probably too much content for this car, so there will be a lot to see. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, like and comment, and get it shared about as well, because I haven't really seen many Mark 7 rebuilds on YouTube, so it'd be good to kind of show a bit more knowledge into it and how bad the crash is, that it is possible to rebuild it. So see you like in the next video.